Hi families, I'm going to show you how to start to submit our work. As time goes on, I'm going to need to start to ask students to submit their work online, and that will help with getting their grades for their third marking period report card. It will also help with me knowing what students are understanding, where they need practice. This can also be done by doing it on paper and pencil, taking a picture and sending it to me in an email. But to make it easier and more independent for your students, they can actually just do it right in our Google Classroom. So I actually logged in and joined my class as a student, so that way I can show you how to do and use Google Classroom. So what's going to happen is you'll see that there's two different assignments that were assigned today. One of them was posting a new question where the students had to click this. And the nice thing about this one, families, is I've already done this with everyone in my class before, where students had to go in and answer questions and submit them. So they should all be really familiar with this. Some of us might need just that reminder and refresher. So once I've clicked into the question, you can see here's the question. They have to answer it. Over here, this is where they're going to type their answer. If you notice, it even says your answer. So they're going to come over here. The question was, in our story, Dex exercised a lot. What is your favorite way to exercise? Why? So I would say my favorite type of exercise is dancing. I love to dance because I feel like it gives me a really good workout. Two sentences. Start to answer the question with a beginning sentence, and then giving me a second sentence that explains my reasoning. That's where I've started the students. We've been working on this since about December and January, maybe even a little bit before then, getting them to write complete sentences and two sentences, if not more. They can give me more reasons. We have gone over that. I've been trying to get at least 2 to 3 reasons out of them, not just one reason. So that can be difficult, but that is something that we want to work on them as a group. Again, it's tricky. The paper and pencil way is easier to remember that I need a capital letter in the beginning of my sentence and I need punctuation. Online, that looks completely different because how do I make the M capital? You have to hit a couple extra buttons to do that. So once they answer this and they finish answering the question, they're going to go to turn in. And that's all they need to do when they have a question that looks like this. Now, I'm going to go back to my stream on Google Classroom, and you're going to see there was a different assignment that I posted as well. This wasn't a new question. This was actually a new assignment, and it was for our dictation with foundations. And what they're going to do here is they're going to click that assignment. I will always have a link for the foundations, and most likely it will always be audio. Sometimes it might be video. They can open this, which will open up into a new tab. Before they play it, my suggestion is to go back into the Google Classroom. So click back into the tab next to it. Go to where it says your work. Click add or create. This is where you want your students to go down here and click Docs. That's like a Microsoft document, only through Google. As it's doing that, it's going to be creating, it will open up another new tab. So lots of tabs here. It's something I think that we're going to get used to, and students definitely know what tabs are. As I opened them up to the Chromebook this year, I did talk about tabs with them, but it's still something they're not quite familiar with. So it's a lot of practice. All right, once they're here, you're going to see my name. My name's only there because it's under my account. If it's your student, you're going to see your student's name. So you'll see their first name, their last name. Leave that. That's perfect. That's what we want. We want to be able to see their name because they're the ones who will be eventually submitting it. So for example, what they can do is go back here into the video, and now they can hit play. And then they're going to go back to the tab again. And as they're listening to my audio, they can start typing the word. Maybe they want to, as they do this, to start getting used to it, play it and write it down on a piece of paper. And then when they're done, because the writing part of it for students in second grade is a lot easier than the typing portion of it, I think writing it down on a piece of paper first, and then going back up into this new tab, and what they wrote on their piece of paper, they can retype in the computer. So, for example, maybe the next word was grain. They wrote grain and they tried to spell it correctly as best they could on the piece of paper. Once they were done with all of the words, the sentence, they can go in here and just start to retype it from the beginning to the end again. So for example, if they had grain, maybe they had mail, and then maybe it went into some trick words and it was school, America, and then their sentence. Baseball is a fun game to play. You want them to be able to do this as independently as they can, because I definitely will be grading their dictations for foundations for accuracy. It's okay if your students are misspelling the words. I need to see that so that way I know what patterns I have to go back and correct. And that's a big part of foundations, are those spelling patterns. So and the problem with this is if with them typing into Google Doc, it might autocorrect. Just go back and tell them to retype it in the way they typed it and see if it will let them do that. Once they're done doing all of this, they're going to go up here and click the Turn In button, which again opens a new tab. I'm kind of hoping that this time it works. Okay, so I'm actually going to, because it's directing me to my teacher account, I'm going to actually go back into the account that your student normally would see if it opened up a new tab. You're going to see that it will go back into the Google Classroom. You can see that my document is here, my work is here, and it's attached. If I were to open it up, I would see my work that I've already typed in there. Google saves everything. That's the best thing about Google. And all I need to do, or all your student needs to do, is click the Turn In. It says here, turn in your work. It wants you to double check, is this something you want to do? If you do, you click Turn In. If there's something that you want to fix, you can click Cancel, go back into your Google Doc and change it. Most likely, hopefully, you're just going to click Turn In. And that's it. Your student does have the opportunity, if they want to unsubmit something and fix it again. So it's not there permanently. They can get it back and fix it. That way also their work is also private, and it's not in the class comments here where students are looking off each other's answers, but now the work is private and I'm the only one who can see your work. As you notice, it is worth 100 points. So again, like I said, I will be grading it, but that's how you would submit work. And I'm hoping that most families are going to be able to view this video and go through this with their students, maybe once, maybe twice, to the point where your students should be able to start to become independent. And if not, that's okay. Again, paper and pencil is a great way to send me work by just taking a picture and sending it, because sometimes that's even easier for you as parents. And I know that this is a hard time right now, and there's a lot going on, and many of you are still working and also teaching your children at home now. So whatever makes it easier, that's the best. That's the only thing I'm going to ask you to do. So make it easy for yourself. If you have the time where you can sit down and teach your student a couple of times and then they can do it on their own, great. It is, a step-by-step process. So it's not like they're all over the place. It is initially, but it eventually gets to be step-by-step. Or again, paper and pencil, take a picture, send it to me, make it easy. I can still grade it that way. That's perfect as well. So I hope this video is helpful. If there are any questions, please send me an email and I can update you with more videos if needed. Okay, bye.